All right, y'all, welcome back to 18 Outdoors. Hey, Captain and I really appreciate y'all watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Y'all like, share, tell your buddies. This is going to be another continuation of our buck lessons, and today's lesson or thought is, if you're going into a newer area or an area that you haven't been in, this is a tip that you can use to kind of set up, and set up a strategy and hunt. And one of them or this theory is going to be about hunting fresh sign or hunting a place where you jump a deer then or that day, or maybe the day before. But anyway, the freshest sign you can find, is a fresh track, fresh track, or a daggum deer standing in that track. That's as fresh as you can get. So we're going to talk about a few of these lessons that we've learned or something that's helped us, or a successful strategy that we've done doing this. And one of them is my brother's big old deer right here. My dad and him was going to this place. It's Oakmogie. Everybody knows Oakmogie Buck, big 180. And they had asked me, they were going to go Oakmogie, hadn't been in 2 or 3 years, and I had to work nights that next night, and I ain't gonna go. So anyway, they went. When they got down there, it was raining, so they stayed in the truck parked till it quit raining. And then they got up and started sneaking, kind of looking for signs, because they were going to hunt like a couple of days. So anyway, as they were sneaking around, they wasn't real far from the truck, but a decent ways. They walked up on a fresh grape. My brother did. He told Dad, "Look, this fresh grape," and it was fresh. He said it still had foamy urine in it. Where this deer, he just had made this grape. The urine was still foamy. So what he done, he said, "I'm going to set up downwind, with a little bit higher elevation, say 100 yards downwind of this scrape, and watch it." And this is, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. And my dad, their strategy was then they're going to like tag team it here. So he picked a different strategy out where a deer or a buck would be coming from a different way, but still out of the wind. So they set up. Then my brother hears something, he ain't even up a tree, he's still smoking a cigarette, I think, after he got settled. And this buck coming to check that scrape, everybody hears a story. He just seen a horn and he shot, and this is what he got, big monster. But hey, he was hunting fresh sign, and it worked out, as good as you can get, a big 18 point, part of our channel, channel logo stuff, 18 Outdoors is one of this deer and of course mine. But that worked out, and that was just, if you find a spot, fresh sign, fresh tracks, and you haven't, you got to trust your gut on this area because that's fresh. Why would you go, don't walk through sign to find more sign, hunt that, give it a shot or two, especially if when you're going to a new place or a place you haven't been to a while, because there's no reason, to me, other people might tell you something different, to go farther than that fresh sign. So that's the strategy that works when you're going to a new area. And kind of play strategy. You make sure you understand how the wind or how you think. Look at the area when you see the sign. How deer would use it, the edge, or the funnel. There's a creek crossing or something that you can see from that spot. I don't like hunting straight over scrape. I like hunting where I can shoot to it maybe, but always downwind and closer to an edge or closer to some kind of blowdown or something that a deer will manipulate to get there to check that scrape, okay? The other part of this is my big buck back right here, the 158 10 point, is this area I went into the year before scouting before a gun hunt, and I jumped a daggum deer up and watched it go across the creek. Well, I was looking for a spot for me and my dad, so I carried my dad to this spot, and he hunted that weekend. But he didn't like it. He said, "I don't like it." He couldn't see far enough. He was one of them that liked to see real far, but this area was thick, that had edges, some pine edges, and you just couldn't see real far. And he didn't see anything. I hunted a different funnel. So, well, the next year, I got thinking about that area, because I went back scouting before a gun hunt, and sure, same situation. I get there, and this is around lunchtime. I jump a dang deer up. And it goes off. It looked like a big body, but I couldn't tell it. It got up before I got close enough to identify what it was. So, I said, well, crap. So I looked and seen, I paid attention where he kind of crossed the creek at, or went toward the creek. And I said, well, I just moved just a little bit over, closer to where he crossed at, and climbed up for the the next day's gun hunt. That's what I'm gonna do. So I picked me out a tree out, picked me a tree out. Sorry, I'm tongue tied today. But anyway, picked me a tree out where I could see where that deer went. And the next day, I dropped my dad off at a different place because he didn't have nothing to do with that place. So he got situated and I went on in. Well, shortly after daylight, I hear a bunch of racket, and some does were coming up. And this is kind of another tip. Bucks don't always follow straight behind does. Well, I'm looking at them does, and something caught the corner of my eye, down from them does, say 40, 50 yards, but still following them. He was just using the way the crosswind was, keeping up one that's fixing being hit or something. But anyway, I ended up seeing this buck shooting, and that's, hunting. The freshest sign was seeing a deer, and that tactic, you go back to some of the older guys back years ago, we didn't have that many deer in Alabama. So you had to hunt, sign, find a track. You had to look to find a track. You might not find a track for 5 miles driving down the road, crossing the road or something. So one of their theories was, or one of them, the tactics a lot of them older guys used, they'd walk in the woods scouting till they jumped a deer. And if they jumped a deer, a lot of them would say, the way it went, go 50 yards more, pick out a tree, come back and hunt that, or start hunting right then, one of the two, because deer's in there for a reason. When you jump a deer, walk up on a deer, sucker's there for a reason. And if it's during the rut, if you jump does up during the rut, or even bucks, there's something going on for them to be there. So use that strategy, hunt that. That's just because you push one up, it's almost impossible to make a deer leave an area, especially down here in the big woods, stuff like that. They're there, they're comfortable, the worst thing you can do is make them go nocturnal, moving them completely out of the area. No, they might move, they might slightly adjust how they move, 50 yards or something, but that area, they're safe there for a reason, and at that time. So give it a shot, try it. I mean, it can work, it's just a strategy for somebody that ain't been to the area, in season scouting, to me, that would be the best way to do it. Is walk till you find the freshest sign that looks good in the right area. Not wide open, pretty woods, but something kind of edges around, SMZs, pine edges, cut over edges, stuff like that. And then the other thought is walk till you jump a deer. And once you jump a deer, look at the area, be strategic on how you can get in, access, then hunt that spot. And I mean, it can happen. So it's just a tip or a tactic you can use, and try it. And we're going to keep doing these for the next couple of weeks, try to get people ready, because season's within a month, bow season's starting. So anyway, appreciate y'all watching. We'll see y'all next video. Get them flat. Thank y'all for watching this video. Hey, we appreciate y'all's support. Hey, if you don't care, if you haven't got a book yet, Amazon, get a book. We got hard copies now available. It took me a while to get them, but hey, they're on there now. Again, we appreciate it. Appreciate everybody's hard work that helped us to get this done, lifetime achievement. So anyway, you can get one. And thanks again for y'all's support. Subscribe, like, tell your friends, and we'll keep coming up with these videos. So we'll see y'all on the next one.